Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about graph terminologies, types of graph. So we have two types of graph, directed graph and undirected graph. So in undirected graph, here in the edges, when the edges, it do not have any directions, that means arrows. So it comes under undirected graph. When the edges in a graph have no directions, it is called as undirected graph. Here the directions are not mentioned. No arrows are represented here. So it comes under undirected graph. So next is directed graph. When I say directed graph, here the edges in the graphs are mentioned with directions. A to B, B to D, B to E, D to E. So there is no edge from E to D, right? There is no direction. So in directed graphs, edges are represented with arrows, directions. We otherwise call it as digraph. Next is complete graph. So in complete graph, a graph in which every vertex, every node is directly connected to every other vertex. Like A is connected with B and B is connected with D, D is connected with C, C is connected with A and vice versa. C is connected with A and B is also connected with B. B is also connected with A. So likewise here all the vertices are otherwise called as all the nodes are interconnected, connected together. So we call this as complete graph, complete directed graph. So next is weighted graph. So in weighted graph, here on the edges we'll be having a value. If you notice at 7, 5, 9, 8, 15, 10 and 6. So all your links, all your edges will carry a value. So that is nothing but the weight of the weighted graph. So next is connected graphs. So in a connected graph, it is possible to get from every vertex in a graph to every other vertex. So we have discussed it, right? So if it is fully connected graph, from node A to B, B to C, everything is connected. So there will be a path from A to B, B to A to C. So we can easily traverse in the graph. So a directed graph is called strongly connected graph if there is a path in each direction between each pair of vertices of the graph. So next is strongly connected graph. So when I say strongly connected graph, every pair of vertices, every pair of nodes, that is U comma V in the graph contains a path between each other. Just consider this graph A, B and C. From A to B there is a path, B to C there is a path, C to A there is a path here. So when you have pairs like this, graph like this, we call this a strongly connected graph. A directed graph is called strongly connected if there is a path in each direction between each pair of vertices of the graph. So when you draw a path matrix ABC, so like this, from A to A there is a connection, A to B, B to C, there is a connection. So this is weakly connected graph. So in weakly connected graph, there doesn't exist any path between any two pairs of vertex. So like A, B, C, we have connection between A, B, B, C alone, not A, C. Okay. So this is weakly connected graph. So far we have discussed about the graph terminologies and different types of graphs. Directed graphs, undirected graph, strongly connected, weakly connected and fully connected graphs. So directed graphs, which means we'll be having an arrow representing it and the directions are mentioned. In undirected graphs, the directions are not at all mentioned. Thank you.